Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Biggie, aka Mr. Lost Cam, the creative hustler, and I'm not alone.
Hi everybody, my name is Stankosi, aka Enchantress Baby, Inkanyezi, Yagankosi,
And this is the Big Thinkers.
You must think. Sabanga, use your brain. Big thinking. Big thinkers. Sabanga, friend. Nahana, think. Big thinkers. Mane maka plana mapulu.
So today, me and my lovely co-host, we are going to be talking about imaging talent, gatekeeping, and also endorsements.
Einstein, I don't care about Buroko King. Big thinkers.
So, why the big thinkers, Star? Why do ask themselves that question? Why the big thinkers? So, to answer that question, most of us are a product than we know, eh? Most of us than we know. You won't even realize that. But, the environment that you're in can affect your thinking.
How so?
So why the big thinkers, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're asking how so, right?
Yeah.
Because it depends on what environment you're in. Maybe if you hang around with those negative guys, maybe the gossiping type, people who are not so positive about life.
Interesting.
Eventually, you can get contaminated by that negativity. So why the big thinkers is because most of us that we know, we're a product, our thinking is a product of our surrounding.
Right.
So on this platform, we're trying to change that thing so we can promote and empower a culture of critical thinking and positive thinking. So this platform will also serve as a advertising medium to showcase emerging talent, your businesses, and also your hustlers and your entrepreneurs.
So in more, you're saying advertising for the industry.
Yeah, promoting their businesses. They can talk about what they sell on the show.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell us what they do. Just to push a culture of collaboration more than a culture of competition.
Learning in their perspectives and how they hustled in their lives.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't have to be that successful to have a valid opinion, right? So I'd say somebody from the corner who sells your mere tomatoes and some Turen Zimba can give you the best advice you can ever find, right?
That's actually true.
So on this show, we're trying to highlight that
Yeah.
part, that people should think positively.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't limit how they think, So the big thinking is not only based on an innovator, somebody maybe who will create a car that will fly.
Right.
But the fact that you are thinking, every thinking is big. And you should always stay on the positive side of things.
Okay.
So on this show, that's what we want to promote. A culture of positive and critical thinking.
Well, that's a show that I would watch.
Big thinkers. Yay.
Hi guys, it's me again. I like to give a shout out to our friends in hydration. #WaterG.
Huh?
I like to give a shout out to our friends in I like to give a shout out to our friends in hydration. #DrinkWaterG. So, what's the topic?
For starters, I'd say since all this is like our first episode, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to open up with us like talking about emerging talent, gatekeeping or who are gatekeepers, endorsement deals. Let's start with endorsement deals.
Endorsements.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on why do you think endorsement deals usually go for well-established, like successful individuals?
Well, there's many reasons. Firstly, we'd say credibility and trust. We know that brands always target successful people who have established reputation, knowing that they can engage in their own products with them, knowing that. Do you know that?
So are you saying these are what they do? How do they do their evaluation? Is this person good for our brand? Does this person align with our values? Is it based on their audience, their following, or what? Because I mean, like that also damages the emerging talent because it creates a stigma.
True, it does.
Because somebody can be a well-established individual,
Yeah.
they can be professional in one thing, but they can also let you down.
Okay, that's true. Knowing that, brands, they look for audiences, like how many successful people when it comes to influencers, right? How many
Yeah.
views do they bring
Yeah.
in their own content?
Okay, yeah.
Knowing that it becomes like a brand awareness and reach.
True.
Knowing that when they see their own quality on what's going on with the successful some individual, they see how the results are, knowing that they can engage with this person, knowing that if they engage with this person, it could establish more existing audience with them and branching their own brands with that influencer.
So basically, you are saying it's a matter of target and reach based on their audience.
Yes.
So now this is my point because I feel like this is damaging to the culture, because if you're gonna determine by the views or the followers of someone,
Yeah.
right, that they're a suitable candidate for your, no, we're not gonna tell you who to put on your brand or who to use as a face, right?
Yeah, it could.
But we're just trying to open up like some doors for emerging talent. Because I mean, there's this conundrum of putting one of the same faces in everything,
Well, that is true because there's different types of people who have emerging talent, but still, brands always use people who are trustworthy, knowing that that's why they always target people who have established reputation. Like artists who are famous. There's different types.
So what do you think these endorsements can do? Because based on what you're telling me and on your thoughts,
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying to me, they feel like there's not enough credibility or trust in an emerging talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be discouraging to an upcoming person that feel like, you know what, I've been doing this for long. I can't keep on going. I mean, I always see one and the same guy on the screen doing this and that. People are not the same. For someone, it can be motivation, right?
You're right.
But for other people, it can be discouraging because they feel like they are pushing and pushing, but that loophole isn't there for them because they can see one and the same face repeatedly on everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think these brands or these endorsements can do to try and maintain that level of stigmatization that's between the emerging talent and a well successful individual?
Okay, so in my opinion, I'd say brands and endorsers should scout for new talent besides getting old talent. I wouldn't say they're old, but
Yeah.
the talent that is already there. I take scouts, look for new talent.
Mara, there's this saying, man, out with the old, fresh with the new.
I get it, but you know how brands are. They always go for the established, reputation because they always trust them because they do have a reputation.
But I
for
like, I
them.
like, I like what you just stated now. I'd like to see that happen, eh?
Yeah.
To see these brands and these big endorsements, maybe, doing something like a collaboration in between an emerging talent and a successful individual who's already well established.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could help maybe as a mentor or whatsoever.
Exactly. What I was trying to say is they can scout for new talents, right? And at the same time, teaching them and how to grow and how to align with their shared values, knowing that if they do have shared values, they can also target new audiences and bring new audiences and create exposure for the brand and them.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm an emerging talent, right, and I'm not getting enough exposure, and I feel like the doors are closed for me and whatsoever, it's very easy for me to lose my spirit, like
Okay.
it's not so easy for someone to keep on going and stuff like that. So we just like to say to brands, to sponsors, please also do look out for young talent, emerging talent. It doesn't have to be a matter of your views, or it's 1 million views or whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, Here's something else, eh? You know, that's the thing with us. You'd go with a well-established like business, maybe, né?
Yeah.
For example, I wouldn't eat in the streets because I'd be like, no, the food is not clean. For example, there's people who are like that.
About hygiene.
Right? About hygiene.
Yeah.
They feel like food from the ranks or from the streets is not clean, right? But when they go to the restaurants, they buy the food. They don't question anything.
Exactly. They don't know what's going behind.
Exactly,
behind
because
the
you feel
doors.
like people at the restaurant, they have food handling certificate. They know something around that field, eh?
Yeah.
But sometimes you can be let down, you know, because you don't know what happens behind the scenes.
But hey, who knows?
Exactly. So you need to give that emerging talent an opportunity and see where it leads us or where it takes us. You understand?
But it's very difficult in this economy, in this generation. So how can they do that exactly?
Hence, I was saying maybe collaborating and emerging talent with the well successful individuals. That could be also a motivation to an emerging talent, right?
Yeah.
So, because this thing of gatekeeping is in all fields, by the way.
How
It's
so?
in all fields. So, gatekeepers, they don't have names, eh?
Okay.
Gatekeepers could be an individual, it
Yeah.
could be an entity that controls certain resources or information, right?
Right.
Like, for instance, if someone sends you a job application, a job post, if you keep that information to yourself, if you don't share it with the next person, you being a gatekeeper that way.
Really?
Exactly, because you are blocking someone from doing something. They have access to do that, but you're the one who's blocking that access. It's not like there's no opportunity.
Right.
You've got that link for the job application,
But I
but
decided
you
to
decide
keep
not
it
to
to
share it with
myself.
someone else. You understand?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's how gatekeepers work. You might find out that even these companies or these brands, they are paying someone to go and scout for talent out there, but maybe the guy's not doing the right thing, you know. You know, this corruption thing, maybe someone is chowing the money or something, stuff like that.
Well, in this economy, people won't even share opportunities for
Exactly.
others.
So there's this saying that says there's too many chiefs, eh?
Right.
Not enough Indians. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. So basically, it means I have to be content with being the average guy because there's no longer opportunities. So I cannot be a leader because there's so much leaders. So I should just be that guy, the average guy. So we're trying to change that on this platform. City, there is opportunities, right? But you can create those opportunities for yourself. So on this platform, we're trying to change that, man. I mean, well, there might be too much leaders or so many leaders, but they might not be leading the right way. So if these guys, they don't want to mix fresh blood with old blood, they are limiting the discovery and the artistry. That's how I feel. Personally, that's how I feel.
Right.
So on this platform, we want people to understand that they can be leaders and there is opportunities, but they have to create those opportunities for themselves.
Knowing that, in a way, there is a saying, when you don't succeed, dust yourself and try again.
So imagine if I'm that guy who's not succeeding and I'm busy falling. And then I'm seeing the other guy who's at the top already being lifted up like that, you know?
Well-
I'm like, what? I mean, I must stay down, man.
Besides that, okay, there's always something that I always tell my friends, okay?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when it's not your time, it's not your time.
True,
Like, don't
true.
force it.
True.
Knowing that in the Bible, it did say in Isaiah 60, verse 22, it said, I, the Lord, will make it happen at its own time. So all I can say is be patient, knowing that, you know, sometimes we have like lack of patience. But if you know that you have skills, just put them into work. And
true.
be patient, because God will give you something that it's not even the plan that you wanted, honestly. Because I could see myself, because I've never saw myself in different types of way. I would literally sit in the house and not do anything. But I decided to be more open and get
So
opportunities.
what's your take on artists charging for features?
To be honest, I don't know, because in this damn economy, like it's hectic.
Okay.
It's hectic, and knowing that we all need go up. We all need money, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a normal practice in the
Yeah.
industry, right?
Yeah.
It's a norm, right?
True.
But do you feel like artists should be charging imaging talent? Because I mean, most of these artists, they already have a financial breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
Should they still charge this imaging talent? I mean, if they should charge or not, that's based on their decisions, okay?
Exactly.
That's okay. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, mostly,
Or maybe take the price a bit down.
yeah,
or
it
something.
could be because we know like there's still young, fresh blood.
Yeah.
They don't have finances for that, knowing that they could take them under the wing and mentor them until when they get to, reach their own full potential. Do you know that? So I would not say, in my own perspective, I would say take them under your wing. I know we want to hustle, everybody wants to eat, but honestly, let's just help each other to grow, because you can't keep like gatekeeping.
Yeah, because gatekeeping can come in many ways, man. Can
Yeah.
come in many ways, and people are so ignorant to that. So, on this platform, we are going to be just motivating and empowering people. Okay, this is not your negative platform. You check where you get to
Make fun.
yeah make fun of other people or their successes or their downfalls or something like that. We're trying to empower. We're trying to create a culture of critical thinking and positive thinking. That should sink.
Signing off, your girl, Stankosi, aka Enchantress Baby. Inganyezi, Yagankosi.
Once again, everyone, it's Biggie, aka Mr. Lost Cam, the Creative Hustler, signing out. Please don't forget to support our podcast. Please subscribe, like, and also leave a comment. And stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you.
The story is bigger than you think. The vision is bigger than me. Look, gotta tell you the truth. We gotta eat by any means.